Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Furball Friday. All right, so this is like my third attempt here at this. Let me disconnect. Hold on a second, guys. Let me disconnect with trying to get live here. Oh, here we go. Yay! It's letting me go live now. Yes. All right, so third time. Welcome to Furball Friday. I've had a lot of practice saying that today. Welcome to Furball Friday, where we talk about non-human animal communication and wisdom and guidance and readings. Okay. I tried this a few minutes ago. I did have a lady, Robin, on that was interested in having a reading from her pets. There were a lot of soul animals coming through. And as I was sorting through them, she said the ones I was describing did not resonate with her and she was sorry, but she had to go. So whether she was on here just testing me to see if I was the real deal or not, or whether she really had to go, I have no idea. Psychics don't know everything, guys. We pick up on relevant things and they're the subtleties. So it would have been nice if she'd stayed on because there was a cat and a dog really trying to come through to her. But sometimes they have to kind of push through the crowd of souls. Other times, those animals or those human souls pop up immediately in the forefront for that person. It depends on me and my connection with those animals. It depends on her. It depends on what the person who wants the reading's intention is. If they're out to test the reader, they're going to be disappointed. If they're skeptical, sometimes that works in their favor. It usually works against their favor. But there are all sorts of reasons. Regardless, when we do mediumship, so many souls want to step forward. And sometimes they push the souls forward that are wanted and that need to come through. They know better than we do. Other times, I just have to trust always that they know better than we do. And that's what I do. So in this case, I was just sorting through all these animal souls. There was a cat that really wanted to get through to her mother, but unfortunately, I never got to finish that reading because she said she had to log off. So when you guys log on for a reading with a reader, don't log on for a quickie reading and then log off, because what happens is each reading can take a different amount of time to come through, depending on if there's other souls needing to get through. And oftentimes, they will piggyback. That means that, you might want to hear from your past loved ones or your pets that have crossed over. But sometimes there's an animal that needs to get through to a person more importantly. And so that one will come through first. It's not always the one you ask for that comes through first. Okay. So keep that in mind. It's just the nature of mediumship. Every medium is different. Every reader handles it differently. But just like with regular physical communication between you and a non-human animal or you and a human, the communication between each is going to be very unique and very different. Sometimes it is super fast and easy and clear. Other times they use different modes to get through to you. They might use feeling or they might use sound. There's all sorts of different ways that these connections can be made. So anyway, that was my experience so far. And then I tried 2 more times to get on and we're finally on. So, what we're going to talk about some today until people log on. Again, we may not have a lot of people log on. A lot of you might be viewing this in the rebroadcast because, as I mentioned, I'm going from having hundreds of viewers to having a very small amount of viewers because I'm having to move over to YouTube. And so it's like starting all over from scratch since I cannot go live on Facebook. Okay. So for those of you that do typically watch me on Facebook and you see this replay, just know that if you want to keep following my lives, you need to move over to my YouTube pages. Okay. So one of the most common things I see with non-human animal communication readings, at least I've experienced, is that people typically want, it's oftentimes with humans, it's a one-way street, right? Humans want and need to feel heard. They want and need to express themselves. And if you've ever communicated or connected with another human where it's a one-way street, they want to tell you, they want you to know what they have to say, but they don't want to hear what you have to say. This is usually the way humans also approach non-human animal communication. So, with that, they'll typically say, okay, why is my animal doing this? They want to know why their animal is doing something or isn't doing what they want them to do. Other times they are, they want to tell their animal something. Don't tell my dog to stop, digging up my garden. Tell my dog to stop peeing in the laundry room. And, my question to you and to those people that want these types of readings is, something like, does that work for you? Does that work for people? Sometimes, not always. If you tell someone in your life, please stop doing this or please do that, do they listen? Usually not. Okay. So don't expect from your non-human animal friends to have a one-way street communication, which we humans do expect that, and then be upset when they don't do what you want. If you might not know their reason for digging in your garden. Perhaps they are digging in your garden and digging for something or eating dirt because they are lacking in a mineral. And you don't communicate back to them. You can't understand that they're lacking a mineral, and so they're digging in your garden to get that mineral. And so you come to a reader and you're like, hey, tell my dog to stop digging in my garden and eating all my plants. Well, do you know why your dog's doing that? Is that really going to work? If they have a reason, which they always have a reason, that's not going to work. And I have people say to me all the time, well, if you can do animal communication, then why can't you just tell them not to do this and that? Because it doesn't work that way. Put yourself in their shoes. If there's something you need and the people around you don't understand that, what are you going to do? You're still going to be trying to get what you need, aren't you? Right? So why should it be any different for them? And I think as time evolves, as we begin to recognize non-human animals as beings, as intelligent beings and souls, they do not have our prefrontal cortex, true. They don't have our voice box. They don't have our mouth palate. They cannot use language the same way we do, verbal language like we do. They cannot do math problems. They cannot, design and build a city like we can, but they design and do so many more complex things that we don't even know about. Hi, Paul. Welcome. Hold on. Wait, my girl wants up here. Ready? Wee! There she goes. She wants up. Mwah. So, all of these things, guys, are really important when we're wanting to connect with animals. I'll get to your comment in just a second, Paul. All of these things are very important. We need to broaden our perspective, get out of what we want in our own limited perspective, and entertain the fact that these non-human animals have different opinions, different perspectives, different wants and needs that we do not understand. And the more we become gracious and accepting to that, the more life also shows us that acceptance. Isn't she, Paul? It's my little Jack Russell Jackie. Yep. She's the little mama of the group here. So, this is very important. Thank you. Yeah, she's precious. Her personality is incredibly precious. She was a little rescue. I saw her running down the street on a busy, not so safe street around here. And now she's with us. So let's see. Paul says, hello, Larkin. I can't wait to see my border collie and my 6 cats. Wow, from Pennsylvania. I know. I feel the same way, Paul. I feel the same way about returning to non-physical. I mean, I love my life and I want to be here. I don't ever want it to end. But at the same time, this is just such a temporary pit stop in eternity. And, once we're back on the other side, we recognize that. We're like, oh, yeah, we're back. Like, we wouldn't have wanted to stay in that life forever, But I so much look forward to, I share that with you. I look forward so much to the people and the animals that I'm going to get to see back on the other side. So yeah, same here. Awesome. I think a lot of those of us who have an empathic and a more intuitive cosmic memory sort of feel that way, and it's good because it gives you something to look forward to. and a lot of people that don't believe in that will say, well, what is there to look forward to? Well, I'll tell you something I think is very interesting, and I've shared it on my Psychic Medium page, but Jane Goodall, I think she just turned like 96 or 97. I had the opportunity to meet her when she came to the Cincinnati Zoo years ago, and she was speaking for us. Just a beautiful soul. And as most of you know, she spent her life studying chimpanzees and, working on the preservation of chimpanzees. And, they ask her like, okay, so what's next? Yeah, amazing, isn't it? They ask her, like, what's next? You're 97. Like, how does that feel? What next? And her response was just so genuine and so beautiful. She said, she goes, I'm guessing my next my next adventure is to leave this world. And she said, and I'm so looking forward to and excited to see what that adventure means. She's like, if there ceases to be anything and I'm just not there, she's like, then I won't know any different. I'm just not there. But she said, if there really is something after this life, she said, I'm really looking forward to that adventure because this one has been so incredible that the next one must be at least as amazing. And it was just a beautiful clip. So I wanted to share that with you guys. As far as all of your guys go, without the human egoic self, which is really the cause of all of our problems, without the human egoic self, we don't, like they don't regret or you believe there's more than Earth. Oh, absolutely. There's more than Earth. Yes. I mean, we have scientific proof now. We have quantum physics. And I find it humorous because the people that are dead set on the fact that there's nothing after this life are dead set in, I mean, it's right there. It's physics. It's right there. We know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. We know for a fact that all energy is conscious. We know this. We know that energy only takes on new form. So it really doesn't matter what people believe. It really doesn't matter because regardless, our consciousness and our energy, goes on, and it's perfectly fine if in this lifetime you want to believe you close your eyes the last time and it's done. That's fine. That's your choice. But as you start to experience yourself and other souls for who and what they really are, it is undeniable that we're not just something that is here for a few years and then we vanish. Everything is ongoing. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just transforms, right? So the beautiful thing about your cats and your border collie on the other side is that they don't have this concept of death, right? All they know is I'm here now. Ooh, now I'm here. Right? They don't make this big separation. It is our human egoic self that makes a big deal out of this, that makes such a huge deal out of, where we are, our story, our identity. These guys are present and living with us, but they don't make up a story. They are not saying, oh, I am a 12-year-old Jack Russell that lived the first part of my life with this family, and it was really tough. And I had a bunch of puppies, and then one day I got staked outside, and I broke away, and I was running down the street, and this lady pulled over and called me over, and I hopped in her car. Do they remember that? Yes. But they don't make this as part of their identity. Whereas we make ourselves part of our identity, right? We make everything that happens to us part of our identity, right? So, we'll use phrases like, oh, I'm always this, or you're always that, or it's always that way, or this is how it's always been in my life. We use phrases like that. And what's actually happening is we are isolating ourselves to, to a mind identity, right? To an association with mind and thoughts. So, so Paul, like in your case, your animals will be joyful and delighted and excited for your return home to the non-physical. But because that's outside of time and space and there's no ego involved for them there, they're also joyful and excited now. They're also joyful and excited that you are here living your life and, with the animals that you love here and now. Because there is no sense of loss for them. There is no sense of loss on the other side at all, right? And there really isn't for us either. We feel it. We feel that space, but it's in our egoic identity. It's in our story. So when we lose someone or something, it is within our story that hurts us. Okay, it's within our story that we don't like that change. It's out of our comfort zone. We have to replace it with something else. They don't have that. They just are because they're like fully present, right? Yes, that's so cool. So let's see, Paul, while you're on here, let's go ahead and see what your animal messages have for you here. Let me get my cards out and we will we'll do these are really fun. But this can be some of your animal wisdom cards. We might as well do for you. As I was telling people before you get on, I usually have hundreds of people on here. And since I can't go live on Facebook, everybody's just learning. They have to move over to here. So it's a much smaller group, which is perfectly fine. Let's see here. We're going to shuffle some cards for you today. Yeah, I might as well do a card for you. See what animals are, what animal messages there are for you right now. And let's see here. I'll shuffle a little bit more. We'll see what's on here. You guys always have animal messengers and animal guides and power animals and stuff in your life, always. So let's see here what we have for you. Woohoo. Okay. I'm going to pick 2 cards for you. Let's see here. We got this one. All right. Interesting. All right. So this is cool. These are 3 cool cards for you. I love this. All right. So the first one you got is the pelican. I'm going to show you what that means. Mr. Lucky and Mrs. Lucky. All right. So the first one you got is the pelican. That's cool. That's pretty unique. This means this is an animal messenger for you right now. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. Now, success can mean all sorts of things. It may not even mean some of the things that you had envisioned or you had in mind, but it's in alignment with you and what you needed to be doing, right? Taking you in alignment with yourself. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors and expand the number of people helping you. So if you have a vision or a project or something that you've been wanting to move forward with, I would recommend that you get that sort of under your feet and that idea with you first. But if you've been thinking about collaborating, this energy is in your vicinity right now. Okay. Now, this one's interesting. You have 7 of water, which in this card deck is represented by the Maine Coon kitten. It's time to stop procrastinating and make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. This really resonates with this. Okay. So it might be time for you to go down the rabbit hole and be a little bit, kind of introspective, but not think about it. It's just a fleeting idea. Maybe make your ideas and your visions a little more seriously. If you need to do more research, then do so, but don't overthink the situation. Listen to your heart. This means listen to your intuition, right? I have this Awakening Your Intuition program going now, and this is what we're talking about. Listen to that intuition, because it's going to be subtle. Like everything I do, it's just tuning into the subtleties, right? And you can do that. I mean, look, just without this, but the cards are fun, right? So we're using the cards, and then they even come through the cards as a vehicle. So that's really powerful too. All right. And the third card I drew for you, it went ahead and asked me to pull 3 out, is actually a renewal, the raccoon. It's time to get clarity about your life, purpose, and make changes so that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been without judgment and fiercely embrace what is to come. So really, all 3 of these cards fit beautifully together. They fit beautifully together, right? Essentially, your animal messengers, right now you have the pelican, the cat, and the raccoon. Mancoon, but the cat and the raccoon. Essentially, they're telling you, okay, trust your intuition, your drive, your vision, trust it. Then stop procrastinating. Use the resources and the people necessary to take that next step to bring that into fruition. Because the thing is that if there wasn't validity to it, if it wasn't the voice of your soul coming through in your intuition, you wouldn't even be having that vision. You wouldn't even have the desire, right? You wouldn't keep coming back to podcasts like this that are going to validate your intuition, right? Validate what already moves you. You want to be doing what you're passionate about, because that aligns you with abundance, right? Joy, security, freedom, love, right? All those things. So this is actually a very powerful and cool recipe. I absolutely freaking love it. And just know that, your animals, both here and on the other side, were part of that. They have been a part of that journey. They've been a part of helping you discern that vision. They're a part of encouraging that vision. Their memories and their energy and presence in your vicinity has been a part of supporting that vision that you have. And it's really just a matter of trusting yourself, and understanding that we step into our power through our choices. So when you actually go to the next step of, okay, I've had a vision or an inspiration, and then you take it another step forward to choices and action, choosing to take the next action, that's when that gap is going to be closed and it starts to become a tangible thing. Okay. Paul, let me know, does this make sense to you? And do you have any questions in regards to this that you'd like to share? Do you have any questions, Paul? All right. Well, I think that was a pretty thorough reading that they gave you there. Here you go, Jackie. Go on, guys. Good job. So they think that whatever they're barking at, because the other dog inside is barking, it's okay. Good. They think that whatever they need to be barking at is inside. So they all ran inside, but they're going to be back in a minute. The Jackie's already figured out she wants to come back out. Anyway, so Paul, thank you for tuning in today, guys. The more viewers I get on these Facebook pages, the more people are going to be able to move over. On YouTube, the more people are going to find me and be able to move over from Facebook. I love Facebook. It's my favorite platform. So I am going to stick with Facebook, at least, what I can do. But I really have no choice but to move my stuff over to YouTube, because otherwise I can't be live with you all. So I know it's funny, isn't it, Paul? All right. Thank you for tuning in, Paul. You have a great weekend too. I'll see you all for Furball Friday next week right here on YouTube and Instagram. And hopefully back on Facebook. We'll see. Mwah. Good night. Bye, Paul.